everyone, and welcome to a brand new episode of Formula Pod. And this is the finale episode of 2023. And today we are discussing all about how the season went on. We'll actually talk about a bit of some stats about who was the biggest destructor, who was the most valuable driver in Formula One, which team had the maximum DNFs, like all those things coming on today's episode. And joining me back again, no one is in the UK, everyone is back in Dubai. So yeah, got Mihir back. Like he came from the UK a couple of days back, but yeah, he's back. So welcome back once again.
So much. I feel home, guys. Not gonna lie.
and and of course we have got the Ferrari man here. Normally that's not a usual, but we've got the Ferrari man here, Nathan, back on. So hey Nathan, how's things going on? How's holidays?
Hey, pretty good. Pretty good. Had a wonderful Christmas with the family, and it's just great to be back talking Formula One. I mean, it's the off season. Um, just a few more months to go, but I can't wait for the next season. Honestly, I can't wait.
Yeah, of course. And slowly, even the launch dates of the new cars are coming out, which is actually, I'm super excited.
Yeah,
You
time
see,
just flies. Time just flies, doesn't it? It's like 2024 and like a few days, and then you just blink and it's February already, and you see the cars coming out, and you just can't wait for testing and the first race. So I'm really excited.
yeah, first race coming out in the first few weeks of March, because because apparently this season everything kicks off a bit different because of how Ramadan is affecting in this part of the world. Uh, we will have races on a Thursday, Friday, Saturday instead of a Sunday, just so that the calendar adjusts according to the Ramadan period, which starts on the Sunday after the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. So we have Bahrain and Saudi Arabia happening on a Thursday, Friday, Saturday setup. But anyways, going down, since we have this is an off-season chat, which according to you would be your most favorite race? Like a race which, according to you, out of the 23 is by far the best. Got to start with Mihir.
Spa. I think Spa is one of the most heritageable, if that's a word, a heritage track in the grid, the racing grid. And yeah, it's all about speed, straight lines, overtaking in the right places. And I think the whole Spa itself is so. I think it's one of the most popular racing tracks so far. Don't look at mine. Don't look at the background. That's the Canadian one. Don't look
No,
at
no,
that one, please.
but then in the 2023 season, according to you, you say Spa was the best race.
Yeah.
All right, I take that. Okay, Nathan, what do you think? What is your favorite race for 2023?
I mean, since I am a Ferrari fan, there has to be only one race that stands out this season because you go through the results this season and you see Red Bull winning 22 times, 20 times, 21 times this season. And there
20
was that
times.
20, yeah, and there was that one race that stands out, and that was the Singapore Grand Prix. I mean, that was the race that I didn't see it coming, and I was really glad that Carlos. I mean, it's the way he drove that race, especially. I mean, it wasn't a scenario where Ferrari were outright the fastest car on the grid. It wasn't a straight victory for them. There were four cars fighting on track for that win, and fortunately for us, as Red Bull, I don't know, as fans who don't appreciate Red Bull or who don't like to see Red Bull win, but jokes aside, with Max and Red Bull struggling that race, it was really nice to see a new person, a new driver on the top step of the podium, and it was a really good race according to me.
Well, for me, I would definitely. I have a couple of them, to be very honest, because one is the Spanish Grand Prix. Of course, because Merck got a 2 and 3, like both drivers on the podium, so that's definitely a special moment. And I got to say, I cannot believe I'm saying this, but Abu Dhabi. I'll tell you why. The final race, at least this was the first time. Okay, the first position was anyways kind of locked, but then in terms of all of the other positions on the championship, say whoever gets the fourth, who was the second and third, and the constructor, like it was narrow difference between each teams, you know. And all of a sudden, Charles Leclerc helping Sergio Perez just so that he could retain he could help him get his 5 second time penalty, but unfortunately that turned out to be a big mistake. And George Russell still getting the podium, and then Mercedes in the second position. Like altogether, I was just like that really went so well. That particular race went so well, even though I'm not saying it was the greatest, but for me it was like okay, who is getting second, who is getting third, like that actually I was kind of in this mix of emotions in terms of who gets what. So yeah, definitely I would say Spanish and Abu Dhabi. I cannot believe I'm saying Abu Dhabi, but it is Abu Dhabi.
Yeah, I mean, for a race like Abu Dhabi, it just was. I really like. If you look back over the past few years, I mean, if you leave out the 2021 season, obviously, and the final race, that season, Abu Dhabi has always been a pretty boring or a pretty normal race. It really doesn't have that what do you say, that glamour that it has as that last race. I mean, if you look at the past few seasons, you'll always have the championship wrapping up before the last race or the last two races, and that was the case this year. But I see what you're trying to say. I mean, from a team perspective, Mercedes finishing above Ferrari, with that in mind, I mean, yeah, it did play a significant role in where teams finished, and I think that was why this season, in some ways, was kind of a bit interesting. It was one sided, of course, by Red Bull, but at the same time, if you think about it, the grid was pretty close this season, from second to, let's say, the midfield. And it was really interesting when I was going through the results of the season, to see there were so many races and results that we look at it and we go like, okay, I didn't see that happen, because that there was just either there was a lot of races, or there was just so much going on that we tend to forget the small little things that happen in the season. And honestly, for a season where Max was just dominant, it was a pretty fun or thrilling season.
No, like you know what I personally feel is anyways, red I'm just now considering Formula 1 without Ferrari, without not sorry, not without Ferrari, without Red Bull. Without Ferrari, oh god, cannot even think about it. Like Formula 1 cannot be Formula 1 without Ferrari. That's why like Formula 1 ends up paying like I think $100 million as heritage fees to Ferrari. But uh I just didn't see Red Bull. I'm like, okay, that's like a lost cause now, because they're winning, they're getting everything. The gap is way too much, and I'm like, the themes behind it, and of course, the last race, even in Abu Dhabi, out of the blue, I see Alpha Tauri ending up P6, P5. I'm like, whoa, what's happening here? Like last race, how those guys ended up just amping up the game was just amazing to see. Some stats which we need to actually look upon. Any idea, like any guesses, who would be having the most amount of crash in Formula One?
Oh, easy. That's so easy.
Go on.
I think it's gonna be Ferrari.
Well, it's not. It's definitely not
Okay.
Ferrari.
Williams.
What was that supposed to mean, Mihir?
No, I'm just,
No, it probably would be say Carlos Sainz getting onto the wall.
yeah, I mean it's okay. Sometimes just people are not meant to be racing.
Oh,
Yeah.
I see.
Ferraris are just Ferraris.
Some-
They think they're
Some
horsing around
very,
everywhere.
very strong opinions coming in.
Let's stop horsing around, man.
What team is it? Because I feel like it's
Mercedes.
No, I don't think it's Mercedes. I don't think it's Mercedes.
Arjun, can you just tell us? Can you just tell us?
Well, it's Williams, and of
Good.
course, it is none other than Logan Sargent who tops the list.
I feel so bad
Yeah.
for him. I feel so bad for him.
Well, his crash alone for Williams costed the team $4,333,000.
That's like two Bugattis, brother. What the? No, wait, no. No, it's not. It's
Not two
not.
Bugattis, way more
It's
than that.
one.
Like, I'll not say way more than that. Also, like around the Bugatti.
Yeah. That's one Bugatti. Yeah. I'm talking for guys who don't know, like second-hand cars in Dubai are really.
Okay.
so, so,
Oh,
Totally went out of the blue on that. But Williams as a whole had like I'll say a crash expense of $7.119 million.
Oh my
oh,
god.
you're saying 3 million of that was by Albon?
2.7 by Albon and 4.3 by Logan.
Wow. And I'm kind of surprised they finished 7th in the constructors. I mean, based on past the stats in the past, I mean, the team that crashes out the most or that pays most of these damages ends up finishing last. I thought it was Haas. I genuinely thought it was Haas, but wow, that's
But
crazy.
I'm so sorry, Nathan, but Haas is not racing. They just
Yeah, that's also true.
They're just along for the ride, just you're a part of Formula One. You're cool. Yeah, I do laps as well. My racing is actually my practice sessions for the next year. That's
Right.
how they work. So trust me. I mean, I
No,
love
but-
Haas, Arjun.
Yeah. But even though Mikir told Ferrari, the Ferrari driver is second on the list.
Oh damn!
It's okay. We'll move next season.
Honestly, I think
Well, Ferrari has a total damage of $5.558 million. In that, Carlos holds the record of $3.64 million of damage.
damn. Nathan, which driver do you support?
And the majority of the damage came from Las Vegas.
No,
Okay.
it was
See, now
one thing
that's
Wait. Nathan, please
Yep.
tell me which driver do you support? I just want to know.
Charles.
Charles, okay. Good. It can be
Charles,
Charles.
Yeah. But no, I mean, you brought up the Las Vegas thing, and that still begs me to this day. I try not to think about it, but then that whole idea of him losing out on replacing a part because the track had some issue. Yeah, the drain cover, that really was a bad part on FIA, I'm telling you. I mean, I still don't think that was the right call. And yeah, I mean, it's unfortunate, but then again, you mentioned that $5 million of damages. I mean, hey, I guess that's like the cost of winning one race, out of all the races that we had last year. I guess it kind of evens it out. We saw Carlos Sainz in first in Singapore, and I guess we can take that. I can take that home for sure.
Okay.
It's fine. It's fine.
I
As
think
long
for
as we get the
Ferrari,
win.
Yeah. I think for Ferrari, anything is better than nothing. Last year,
Pretty
much.
I actually have a lot of hope for Mercedes and Ferrari and McLaren next year. I feel like these people really understood what they're expecting from Red Bull next year, and they're all getting ready now. In fact, one of my friend is dating a McLaren engineer,
Wow.
and like he goes all around the world. And I spoke to him like a few days ago, and I was asking these questions, and I was like, "How does it feel to be like number 4 on the grid?" And he goes like, he's a really chill guy, and he was like, "Honestly, Mihir, and I quote, and he said, Red Bull, as much as we think Red Bull's really quick, it's actually like cars, it's not the drivers." And like when a person who actually knows a lot of engineering, he said that the the underfloor of those cars are what makes them very different from the other race cars. So Red Bull Racing's flooring is massively aerodynamic. Like it cuts through every single inch of air. And other cars are actually having a lot of issues with that because obviously the engine placement and the gravity, like center of gravity, is very different for each and every car. But Red Bull nailed it for this one. And apparently he said it was also a luck thing as well because obviously Honda is been in the car industry. They are basically every person knows what Honda is. So they have the research, the facility. McLaren does have facility and the finance, but they don't have that kind of. I'm just gonna say that out loud right now. I think Honda as a company is huge, and they have a lot of scope in terms of every single motorsport in the world. That's all I'm gonna say. McLaren,
Which is
McLaren being obviously they were partnered with Mercedes before, and now they're their own sole company. They still I mean, they're still sister companies at one point, but I feel like now after looking at the races of the last few seasons, I think I'm gonna bounce on between McLaren and Mercedes here and there.
it's a shame that Honda's pulled out of Formula One. I really thought they would, after the success that they've had in 2021 and 2022. I thought they would sign a long term deal, and we would see them partnered up with Red Bull for ages. But I mean, it's a shame. 2026 is going to be interesting with the engine regulation changes and with, I don't know. I think it's Ford. Is that right? Ford coming in
Yeah.
as their engine
No,
supplier. Yeah, I
so,
don't know.
so it's Red Bull powertrains, which they have
Right,
partnered with.
right.
So that
Yeah,
is going to be strong. Like RBPT is going to be even more stronger now. But
But you
again,
also
that's
need to
just the hybrid
understand that
technologies with Ford. But at the same time, you need to even consider this. Sauber ends up being Audi, which is again, uh, Audi has got like a pretty good infrastructure when it comes to racing. So considering that, like you cannot kind of ignore them. And yeah, back again, another person joins the team, which is Vishruti. Normally she doesn't end up being late, but there you go. She's late
Yeah,
for the
I
first
had
time.
to, but yeah, I'm back.
it's just me who's showing off his.
Mihir, I need to show you something. I'm just gonna wait for us to finish recording until I show you this. I think
first of all, I'm so sorry, but you cannot beat me in anything in terms of merchandise. Okay, I
that's
have
true.
literally everything.
That's true. But me getting my first ever Formula One merch, like official Formula One merch, and I'm very excited that it's actually a McLaren
I
merch
bet you got a.
and not
I bet.
Ferrari.
Yeah,
I
yeah, yeah.
usually
I think she
have.
got this. No, it's okay. I bet she actually just got a pen from the thrift store that says McLaren on it.
Arjun knows what it is. Arjun
This fight
knows
never
what it is,
stops.
and I will leave it at that for now.
Oh, what a cool
Well,
McLaren.
we were talking about destructors, and
Yes.
these destruction ended up only coming up from Mercedes themselves,
Mm-hmm.
which is basically only Mercedes only got a destruction budget of $1.5 million.
Oh.
I know where that went.
And the driver with the least destruction on the grid is none other than the reserve driver for AlphaTauri, Liam Lawson, $0.
No way.
Well, he only raced for 4 races. He didn't crash the car. He
I
didn't
remember
do
him.
it.
Oh yeah, no, that's fair enough. Yeah, but you can't really count that because he's not a full-time driver.
Yeah.
Okay, you want a full-time driver?
Yeah,
It's
yeah. Let's.
Max Verstappen.
Yeah, okay, fine, fair enough.
Max Verstappen, 345,000. That's only basically the car. Probably the engine wear, or at the best would be only that.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think when you're pole position, you have nothing to worry about other than the last. I mean, if you have clean air, there's no disruption. I mean, there are multiple ways you can crash, but logically, the only way you could actually lose a position or crash is when it's raining. When you're
Mhm.
leaving the pit lane, or DNF, like some accident or something. But looking at how Max was driving, I don't think anything could stop him other than uncircumstanced situations where come up and down.
Okay. But see, if we're talking about Max, we need to also talk about Sergio, because Sergio is the third on the list with the most destruction. He alone brought Red Bull a destruction cost of $3.2 million.
Wow.
Max only has 345,000. Sergio has $3.22 million.
But you know
So
why?
so where
Wait, go on, Nathan. Go on.
so where is Red Bull on that list? Like the overall, like the teams that have in terms of
I
destruction.
would say it is behind McLaren on that, because McLaren got 3.6, Red Bull got 3.5, and
And there
then
are teams below Red Bull, or
sorry,
there are teams below Red Bull?
yeah. Mercedes is below 1.5.
Right. Right.
Like, and Haas, even though they are not racing, got a crash bill of $4.1 million.
Of course. Yeah. That's their cost of racing on the grid. That's just
But yeah, to sum up, it's Williams, Ferrari, Alpine.
yeah. But here, what were you going to say about Perez?
See, Perez, it's a known thing that Perez gets compared with Max. So Max, because Max is always pole position, he's always. So Sergio Perez really has to fight his ways to get to him, or at least be P2.
Mhm.
So what he's doing is he knows the Red Bull car is up quick. He knows he's the fastest on the grid in terms of team wise. And he needs to get, because at the end of the day, as much as it's all teamwork, you also have to look by yourself. And I think that's where he was comparing himself with Max, and he's trying to overtake Max, overcome Max, but he couldn't. And it's basically he was just struggling, and I guess that struggle part came through when he was fighting his way up, and he got damages because of that. That's what I feel. So I may be wrong, but this is what I think.
Hmm.
Well, since we have been talking destruction for quite a while, we need to also talk about the most valuable driver on the grid. So this is basically calculated based on the salary and the destruction they have bought to the car or to the team. And proud to say this, or like the most valuable, or it could be also called cost to team per point scored in 2023. None other than George Russell is the most valuable driver per point. I'll not say valuable as in the like for the team. His per point wise, each point only Mercedes ended up paying him $26,000
Yeah.
per point. Okay, because
Wow.
he hardly had what $670,000 worth of damage to his car,
Mhm. Yeah.
even though he kind of went off the grid a bit of number of times. Still, it kicks off with George Russell, Lando Norris, Sergio Perez, Oscar Piastri, Carlos Sainz, Lance Stroll. Really, Lance Stroll?
I mean, did he do much?
Well,
Did he actually do much the entire?
I know for a good number of times Lance Stroll just like turned off the car and just sat in the paddock. I didn't see that guy race a
Yeah,
lot.
exactly. So I mean, I'm not surprised that he's up there. I'm actually a little surprised he's not a little bit higher,
Mhm.
but still.
I mean, Lance has been one of the most consistently inconsistent drivers. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like sometimes he turns up, and sometimes you see, oh, he finishes fifth. He finishes fourth. Wow, great. All of a sudden,
Yeah.
you think, oh, maybe he's actually a good driver. But then the next race, he just says, no, I give up. I'm not the driver that you think I am, and he just doesn't deliver. I mean, I'm glad that he has a team to himself. His dad owns the team, but at the same time, obviously having Alonso in the team is great. But then you would expect more from him, and I do expect more from him next season. And
Yeah.
I'm really sorry to say. I mean, it's sad, but it is what it is. It's really like a waste. having that driver in that grid when you have so much of talent outside who has basically proven themselves to be amazing drivers. And when you put him or when you put them those drivers in Lance's seat, they could do a better job and maybe even more consistent in nature. And well, maybe not fighting Alonso, but at least being up there. But really, it's high time for Lance, and I think it's always been high time for him, and he's got to deliver.
Yeah, like I can't deny that because he had Sebastian Vettel once with
Yeah.
like side by side with him on the team. Now he's got Lance Stroll. That's basically say 6-time world champions were driving along him, and he really didn't learn anything. Like it's disappointing at a point, you know.
I feel like he has a lot of pressure. Like, I think I've spoken about this before. I feel like him having Vettel and Alonso can be seen as a plus point, but for him personally, it could also be a detriment because he's racing alongside people who have won championships, and the fact that his father owns his team could also be a lot of pressure on him. I see both sides.
Well, you know what I see?
Someone needs to see both sides.
I see that they should not bring a legend to Aston Martin. Instead, put an F2 driver in the F1 car and get Lance to kind of spearhead the team.
Who knows? Maybe he will
Maybe
do
he'll get
well if that
confidence.
happens. Yeah, he'll get the confidence that, okay, even though my father owns the team, they're trusting me with heading the team, heading the between, like being the more, I forgot the word, experienced one of the two.
Yeah, let's see that. But we told about we just spoke about the best value for money driver. We didn't talk about the worst. The worst is none other than K Mag from Haas.
Is
I
that a
actually
surprise?
I disagree with that. I actually disagree with that.
You know,
I thought it was
his one
Sargent.
point costed Haas $1.6 million per point.
Oh my god.
$1.6 million he cost.
The difference
This is
between Russell and Magnussen's like huge.
But that
Well,
also depends on the number of points they score, right? Isn't that
yeah,
also?
that is also one part of it which kind of comes into play. But
Yeah.
K-Mag didn't get much points,
Mhm.
even
But
though
Yeah, and
they
like
hyped him
as
so
a,
much.
as a driver, as a driver, I feel like K-Mag is actually a really good driver. Like, I'll tell you why. Because I've seen him where he had anger management issues, where he used to throw his steering, he used to just be like, guys, I quit, I quit, I quit. I remember this time where he was racing and he was like, the car doesn't feel right and I'm just going to quit. And the whole team was like, what the hell's going on? Like, why is he quitting this? It's like 17 more laps, let's do it and call it a day. And he would just come off saying, no, I didn't like the car, it didn't go as quick as it should. But now I see the difference in him where he's more calm, he's more subtle about things. He knows the teams and his limitations. So I feel like, and I'm this could be any driver to be honest, but I feel like any driver who drives a Haas is going to have a slight a bad luck in terms of track dominance and winning position. I think these three things are what's lacking in Haas. And I think if you put K Mag in another car, he would. If you put any person in a good car, it really evaluates and makes the driver more better and more appealing. But any driver
Yeah.
who drives a Haas, you can't expect them to be wonders. The car does not even have a proper steering wheel, and you guys are like, come on, guys. Have some
Yeah, but
faith in him.
But since you were saying this, like I was just going through those past seasons where Haas ended up the constructors P5, P6. Where's that? Where is that that kind of Haas?
Oh, the Russia took it away. As soon as the Russia-Ukraine war happened, they pulled out Russia and all their finances were like, yep, we're taking the finances with us. And then every sponsorship, every Russian sponsorship was like, yep. I think the sole reason why Haas was running so well was because of the Russian finance investors who invested money in Haas, which is so weird because Haas is an American team, but has
Yeah.
Russian has Russian sponsorship.
But come on, see,
Yeah.
at this stage, right now, they've got like who? MoneyGram, Palm Angels. They all are sponsoring Haas. So they should be having some good money there lying down there, like good
Yeah.
American dollars instead of rubles.
I think that's why they have Cadillac coming in. I think Cadillac would help another American brother.
Well, see, anyways, K-Mag only scored 3 points out of the 23 races in the season.
It's better than 2 points.
And Nico Hulkenberg scored just 9 points. 6 points only more than K-Mag. But yeah, since you told about Andretti and all those, uh, I want to actually put this topic for discussion. So we all know that Red Bull actually owns not one but two teams in Formula One. Okay,
Mhm.
and recently Zach Brown of McLaren actually said he doesn't kind of agree to that concept where one person owns two teams because you have more data because you're kind of having a shared platform.
Mhm.
So, in your thoughts, do you think Scuderia AlphaTauri, or I don't know what its new name is, should exist in Formula One, or should those both just be combined and just put as one Red Bull team?
I have a lot to say. So,
Go on.
like always, I think if you look at it in terms of different perspectives and different views, there are different ways of looking at this. I think in terms of finance, Formula One, I think getting more teams involved is a very marketable way of looking at things where people know, oh yeah, I mean that's AlphaTauri, drivers who have just upgraded themselves from F2, they want to come to F1, but they really don't know if they're right it's they're right in the right what's the word in the right situation where they think when you take a leap of faith but you're really not sure about it so you don't put them right in the winning team. So I think they test them out in these sister companies like AlphaTauri, and then if they see if they okay he's doing good, performance is great, then they can shift it up. In terms of other teams who do not have sister teams, I think that's a disadvantage for them, obviously. But should they be one? I disagree with that because at the end of the day, it's two different teams. That's how I see it. I mean, let's be honest. If you tell any person and be like, oh yeah, there's 10 teams on the grid, I'm pretty sure they would understand that only the technical side of everyone. Like we all know that yeah, Red Bull is like AlphaTauri, Ferrari is Haas, Mercedes is a McLaren. So I feel it's okay to have two teams because because they're different entities, but I think it's a great way of finance. That's all I'm gonna say. That's my ending quote. I want to
So
hear the next.
one of the reasons why this conversation popped up was because AlphaTauri is based out of Faenza in Italy. Okay, and now there has been news that they would want to move their entire team from Faenza to Milton Keyes, in that is the Red Bull's proper campus. So when this conversation came, that's where Zach Brown actually ended up saying, like he actually questioned the coexistence, the emphasizing the proximity of AlphaTauri's aerodynamics factory to Red Bull's. Because see, each team has different aero, as in say, testing
Facilities.
percentages, and Red Bull being on the top, it won't get much aero testing time, whereas AlphaTauri being on the bottom ends up getting more aero testing time. So the main question which arises is, will this kind of like, with both being tested in the same facility, can there be some sort of a manipulation which comes up?
Mhm.
But yeah, I also want to know from Nathan and Rashidi, what do you guys think?
See, from a team's perspective, um, I I honestly I think that those two teams should be separate entities, but at the same time, I do not disagree with the fact that they have a sister team. I mean,
Mhm.
it's been there for many years. I mean, we've seen the likes of. I mean, if it wasn't for Toro Rosso or if it wasn't for AlphaTauri, we wouldn't have seen the rise of Sebastian Vettel. We wouldn't have seen the likes of Max Verstappen, Carlos Sainz, and Daniel Ricciardo, for that matter. You know, get integrated into Formula One. And I'm not saying that because of those reasons, AlphaTauri or Toro Rosso should be in F1. Well, that's one of the reasons, but um, honestly speaking, it's if you think about it in some ways, Red Bull have found a neat way to integrate a system where they have a platform to promote their young drivers, to give them the chance in Formula One. And that's, if I'm being honest, that's what we keep talking about, right? We keep
Mhm.
talking about paid drivers and we keep talking about places and basically limited spaces. It's just the top 20 drivers that get to drive in Formula One.
Mhm.
And if I'm being honest, when one of the teams have two slots to basically provide an environment for young drivers to be a part of that 20, I would take that any day. And I'm
Mhm.
pretty sure from the driver's perspective, it's a brilliant opportunity. People who sign up as Red Bull Junior drivers, it's basically a blessing for them. And I'm pretty sure that whole team headed by either Dr. Marco or someone else. It's really an interesting operation, and I wouldn't be surprised to see a what do you say a trend where some other team would do the same thing. I wouldn't be surprised. Mercedes have incredible junior drivers. Last year we saw in F2 we saw Frederick Vesti. Um, you know, it's such a shame that we won't be able to see him in F1 this year, but in the coming years for sure, he's definitely one of the talents to look out for. So from the talent perspective, it's amazing to have these two teams. And if you think about it, well, when I think I want to, I mean, it's not a direct comparison, but Ferrari and Haas, they don't have a similar relationship, but they have a relationship where Haas technically are a separate team, but their CFD, aerodynamics, and all of that is handled by Ferrari. And I think it was one of their aerodynamic supervisors or specialists who basically left Ferrari to work for Haas, and to develop their car in some ways. So I mean, in that case, yes, yeah, you see different teams using the same parts of the car. You see different teams getting involved in each other team, every other team, and basically helping develop their cars and their parent cars or the cars that the other cars on the grid. I mean, it is a trend. I see it, but at the same time, it's not something that we can really um, complain about, because at the same time, as much as we see, as our message we talk, that there is like this big gap. If you think about it, the grid is still pretty intact. It's still close together.
Yeah.
And if there is a big problem and we see all of a sudden, I don't know, I mean, not that this is going to happen, I hope I don't jinx it, but we see an Alpha Tauri 3 and 4 or something. I don't think that's going to happen, but if we see that, then okay, then maybe there might be, some questions need to be asked. But for now, I think it's pretty good to see to see Red Bull, what they're doing, and how they are basically utilizing this opportunity to not only give chances to these drivers, but at the same time advance themselves, their team, their brand in Formula One. And I think it's pretty smart.
All right, Rishruti, final thoughts?
Agree with Mihir and Nathan wholly because I mean, you see, just this year, AlphaTauri, yes, they've not had the best um, year in terms of drivers, but they brought in Nick DeVries in the beginning, and then Daniel Ricciardo replaced him. You had Liam Lawson Liam had the opportunity of a lifetime and he took it. And Daniel, reserve driver for Red Bull, bought into AlphaTauri just to see how he does, and possibly in the future replaces. In my brain, I want him to replace Perez, and we know it. I'm not gonna hide it. I want him to replace Perez, but let's see where that goes. But this just gave Daniel an opportunity to come back, show that okay, it was the wrong team, he was the right person, but in the wrong place, and he's slowly showing that. And if he works up to it, maybe he'll jump up into Red Bull in the future. I mean, you look at it, go back a few years, you see McLaren and Mercedes, sister teams. Lewis Hamilton drove for McLaren and then he jumped to Mercedes. He was amazing. So you see these people just jumping, having the opportunity, they take it, and then they go to the more higher, like the team that has more opportunities given to them, that they teach the new and upcoming drivers in the sister team, this is how it works, and it just provides them an opportunity to bring in more chances and more people, new people, and to show what they're truly capable of. Like Nathan said, there are only 20 people in the entire world racing for Formula One. It's a big thing, and to see them take hold of that and to provide these people with opportunities that not that many people get, it's a big thing. Having these teams is an opportunity to open them up to more teams at a higher level, show how skilled they are, and push them to the limits.
All right. Well said. That's like
Thank you.
you guys gave like a really well detailed stuff. But according to me, I would say one statement which Nathan said, which is if AlphaTauri is ending up being that supreme team, beating Red Bull or beating all the other teams, say Ferrari, Mercedes, McLaren, or Aston Martin, then it is something which needs to be questioned. But I agree because from that Toro Rosso team, a lot of, I'll not say AlphaTauri, from the Toro Rosso team,
You had
a lot of
Gasly,
good came out.
Albon. You had a lot of good people that came out of that team.
I'll say from AlphaTauri, no one as legend as has come out. From the Toro Rosso team, you have seen some excellent drivers which have come out. You
Actually,
have like say Sebastian Vettel, Max Verstappen, Carlos Sainz, like these all people like Albon, like these people, they actually drove pretty well, like they drive pretty well, and now they're still having seats, except for Sebastian Vettel because he retired, but still. Um, but yeah, for me, for the time being Racing Bulls. No shit. Why did I say Racing Bulls? Red Bull. Sorry, AlphaTauri. They like it's fine for now. Well, I think this is a conversation which we need to pick up next year at the same time,
yeah.
because by next year we'll know what magic they have brought out, and if they are superly competitive, then that's a big question to ask. But yeah, anyways, just before we kind of wrap up with the entire thing, let's talk about these new teams, the new team names. I got so
Okay.
confused when I saw the new Sauber name. What was that? Kick F1 teams, Stake Sauber.
Huge. It's like you're saying Mercedes' name fully.
No, see, but Mercedes' name is like more easy. It's Mercedes AMG Petronas Formula One team. You've got the constructor, you've got the sponsor, F1 team, done. Whereas that's not the case for AlphaTauri. Now, sorry, why am I saying AlphaTauri?
It's been some time actually. We haven't spoken about Formula One, so I get it, Arjun.
Yeah. I just
The off season is hitting us really bad.
Actually.
Yeah.
Sport and addiction. You start spazzing out. You're like, Formula One, like what's going on? Like this.
you know, it's like I think like 5 weeks of not talking Formula One actually is affecting me big time. Need to sit and watch
Yeah.
the Drive to Survive after
No,
this from the start.
I had my kick of talking about Formula One with Lando's friends, and I'm very excited about that. So I was able to talk to them about Vegas, Singapore. That gave me that little boost of energy, actually talking to Max and Steven and Ria about all of this.
Wait, you met Max?
Of course, I'm not Max Verstappen.
Oh.
Please.
Okay, you gotta. Well, I thought she spoke to Max, and I was like, what the hell? He spoke to her before he spoke to me?
Max just to see his face and how he would react.
I was like, what the hell's going on?
No, I didn't see any of the Formula One drivers, but I did see Lando's Singapore helmet.
Did you
Well,
touch it?
He was actually interacting with the team quadrant of Lando Norris.
Yeah, which is the
Some
whole thing of
context, Vishruti.
I get free merch and that's all I need.
All right. But anyways, coming back to the entire thing. So it's named Stake F1 Team Kick Sauber.
There's no connection.
Sauber is the owner of the team. Its
Yeah.
name like towards the end.
And
Doesn't make sense.
No, it's basically it's all about the future, right? It's kicking Sauber out. It's going to be Audi next season. You never know. 2026, it's going to be Audi kick Sauber stake F1 kick team. I don't know. It's going to be it's going to be insane.
At least like we did I don't know whether you guys have seen, so a Monster is now officially responsible for
McLaren's.
McLaren.
Yeah.
I'm so
I
pissed
won't
off
be
with that.
surprised. So I won't be surprised if McLaren ends up naming Monster Energy McLaren Formula One team.
I hope to God no.
You were
For
scoffing.
their sake.
Uh-huh.
For their sake, I hope to God no.
I actually want to know how Mahir feels with Monster coming to McLaren.
I hate that. I hate it. Because because Mercedes is with Monster, and I love that. Look at that. This small Easter egg. Look at that. I'm trying to find the cat. Yeah, look, it's so nice and like, look, it's so subtle. Like you look up. It goes so well together. But no, this shit. These people have to make Monster go with McLaren. Like, why?
That's the guy recently just buying McLaren merch. I don't know whether this is spite me or whether you actually started liking McLaren now.
No, honestly, I'll be very honest. I think I'm leaning towards like Mercedes and McLaren here and there. I'm not gonna lie. Like I'm not solely with Mercedes.
See, Arjun, I was right.
But no. But I'm obviously my whole room is decked out Mercedes, and
Yeah.
I still feel like Mercedes is and has potential. As soon as they start showing me some potential, like
He will move back.
yeah,
I'll get all the merch. I'll get the McLaren merch from him to add on to mine.
I don't know who do you think you are, like.
We're friends. We can get it
some
done.
girl who
No
lives in the
problem,
UK.
sister.
Oh, I met Lando Norris's friend. Oh my god, what a big deal.
You live in the UK, man.
I live far off. I live like way far away from where you stay. I
You know
where you
these
stay.
people in London people in the UK ending up saying these all crap.
CC, we're not in UK
Right.
right now. I'm back in Fujairah. Mihir's back in Dubai.
You live in Fuji.
No, but
Grounded at
you
home.
people now consider people who have come from UK.
No comments. No comments.
All cases right now. But anyways, also about AlphaTauri. We know that it's not going to be named AlphaTauri.
Mm.
I ended up vomiting out the word Racing Bulls in between.
Isn't it something with Hugo Boss?
Yeah, so there was a deal. There was actually a news where it was going to be Hugo Boss or Racing Bulls team or something. But even there, at the same time, Adidas wanted a piece of share of that as well.
Why is
so
it all clothing brands?
no, you
No,
can
'cause-
see. You cannot put Adidas. You have to consider that with Puma, because
Yeah,
Puma at
yeah.
the moment has been supplying a good amount of teams with their kits.
I did see something with Mercedes actually, which was quite surprising.
With Puma,
Yeah, Dubai Mall has a huge poster of Lewis's car just plastered onto the main, entrance. I was so shocked.
I'll do one better. I have a Mercedes Puma partnered shoe with me.
Yeah, I saw that.
Like every time, like whenever I go out to watch a Formula One race or to just kind of show people I like Formula One, I wear my Mercedes team shirt and that shoe.
That
Just
would
to-
make sense. the entirety of Dubai Mall that day was just filled with Formula One, from like Puma to Abercrombie to Hollister, H&M. I saw a lot of Leclerc's faces. I mean, GoPro had Daniel Ricciardo. I waited for 5 minutes to see that man's face. The entire
You know,
Dubai Mall splashed with Formula One. It was like a heaven for me.
to all the audience out there, whoever watches Formula One, they have basic certain levels of being a lunatic.
Mhm.
There are certain extremes to it. There are some normals to it. So in that case, Vishruti is, I will say, in the lunatic bar.
Very much so. I mean, you see, I'm
And-
not even a major Ferrari fan, and that's a Ferrari cap hanging right back there.
Yeah. And then you have people like Mihir who invested big time on posters, cap, t-shirts.
No, this
funky
goes
pop,
beyond. This goes beyond me. This goes beyond my lunacy, honestly.
No, like Mihir's lunacy is another, like that's something which didn't start like yesterday or day before yesterday. That
Oh,
started
I've
like
got
ages
Can
ago.
I show you guys something? I think it's really cool.
Yeah. Wait, Mihir. Arjun and I had this debate. Do you have the pop toy of Lewis Hamilton with the car or without the car?
I have the one with the car.
See, I was telling
Ooh.
you. I know it. I've seen
I
it
was gonna
before.
get
It's the
that.
one with the car.
I just ordered that.
Yeah, dude.
See, I
Anything's in
told
the
you.
packaging.
Oh.
Like, I've not opened anything yet.
Yeah,
You know, I saw this poster, this AI created thing of Carlos and Lando's pop toys. I want that to become a reality. I would spend how much of a money possible on that toy because
Hey,
I will
hey,
get
hey.
it. And this was with the car.
Excuse
This
me.
was with the car.
Excuse me. Listen, like, just think before you talk. You are like a big McLaren. So what if what if there in the store there is Charles Leclerc, Carlos Sainz, and Lando Norris? Which would you choose?
Lando, please. Is that even a question?
Yeah, I got this from Mercedes.
Whoa. Whoa.
It's the outline
Where
of
did
their W11.
Where did you get that from?
I went to the AMG cafe and I got it.
The one
Ooh.
here in City Walk?
Yeah.
They gave me free coffee there.
Well, you should ask the right thing, not for coffee. Coffee, you pay for it.
I was sleepy. I was up by 4 a.m. I needed coffee, man. And that was like 6 p.m.
Too bad. We always go for merch, not
You
coffee.
know, the lady, I kid you not, I went there. I was having the shittiest day. I don't know. This was like, I was cold. It was Jan. I was having the shittiest day. And I went for a walk. Let me clear my head. I went for a walk and the lady looked at me. She's like, "You want a coffee?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure." She gave me coffee and like these beautiful orange almond flavored biscuits. And I just sat there eating. At the end, she's like, "I just wanted to let you know that you are really amazing and I appreciate you and I love you." I'm like, "Who are you?" But I'll take it because
Where
I'm
was
having
this?
such a
Where
bad
was this?
day.
Was this in
Well,
Dubai?
you know
or
what?
AMG
was it-
Cafe.
This
This
The
was
one-
AMG Cafe.
the one thing which would make Vishruti fall is just tell her she's amazing. She'll do anything for you.
That,
Anything.
no, now I have changed. This was January. This was 11 months ago. I am a different woman altogether. I will wait.
People go to London and they change. Once
Yeah, I
it
was just
I'm
gonna say
For the
UK
better.
things.
For the better,
Anyway.
for the better. Trust me.
anyways. Like all of us, like one thing which I thought this year was in the Las Vegas circuit that every driver would hit the top speed, like will be like because right now the record is with Valtteri Bottas in the Mexican Grand Prix with Williams. He has the top speed record, which is 375 kilometers per hour.
Hmm.
With the
Oh, I don't think I've never seen that. I want to see it so badly now.
Well, it's before it's the season before Valtteri got into Mercedes.
Okay, I shall look it up because
So you
I want to
have,
see that
I think you will
badly.
need like a huge archive to go back. The
Arjun,
DTM
I'm a lawyer. I research. Researching is my thing. I will figure it out and I will find it and I will watch it.
But the top speed at Las Vegas, even though that was a big straight with the DRS and all those, the only speed was 372.
I
Ooh.
mean,
What was close,
that was
but not
that's still that's still quite close. Who was it?
Charles Leclerc.
Of course.
Go,
Of
come on,
course.
man. I love that.
Of course. The man who passed Perez in the last lap. I mean, it has to
Oh,
be.
that lap was just mind blowing. I mean, I
No,
closed it for a bit, and then
Actually, I gotta ask this. Perez, like you saw that in Brazil, in
yeah,
Las Vegas, last lap things turn around. So I don't know. Just Sergio doesn't have that confidence to keep the car there. Like what's happening?
Leclerc is still good.
I agree. I agree.
As a semi Ferrari fan, Leclerc is good. You gotta give it to him. I mean, at the end of the entire thing, it was Carlos and Leclerc actually doing the entire strategy for the Ferrari team. You could see it in Singapore with Carlos and Leclerc here, and like literally every other race. Like he was trying his level best. You gotta give it to them.
Okay, yeah, she's now freezing out. So on that terrible disappointment, we got to wrap up the show today because we have been yapping for a very very long time, and I know it's not very much music to yours, but yeah, I really hope you guys have enjoyed this finale episode. We will see you guys back in 2024. Probably say when DTS launches out because we have a lot to talk about that. Until then, this is the whole crew from Formula Pod signing off. Goodbye.